You must have seen or heard the news. The Nakagin Capsule Tower is being torn down, and with it, a piece of architectural history will also go away. There have been loads of discussions around this online. Loads of people are outraged and sad. This tower is not just a piece of Japanese history, it was a step into a new style of architecture. One that could have changed the way people saw and experienced the built environment around them. But what exactly is this history? Why is this tower so important? And if it is that important, did no one try to save it? Let's try and find answers to some of those questions today. Welcome to Blessedarch, and today on this channel, we are looking at one of the most iconic structures in the world, the Nakagin Capsule Tower. On 12th April 2022, demolition of the Nakagin Capsule Tower officially began. This tower, which was evacuated a month prior, will slowly be dismantled and removed from sight. Loads and loads of people have expressed their sadness at seeing the tower go, and it makes you wonder, what's so special about it? Yes, it looks different, but it's not just about its design, but about what it represents. This tower is one of the most important landmarks in Japan because it represents an architectural movement that was once believed to be the future of human civilization: metabolism. In the 1900s, when the world had officially come out of World War II, Japan was in a very tough spot. It was rebuilding as a nation. Now, Japan has always been a country that stays very close to its ancient traditions, but it has also emerged as a society of innovations, of change, and of new ideas. Post the war, there was a new architectural movement that started to sweep the country. It was called Metabolism. The idea was simple. What if our structures and cities could grow and change with us over time? The whole metabolism movement was about pushing ideas and boundaries, challenging minds to go beyond what architecture and urban design was to be at the time. Instead of the modernism ideas of separating life into work, living, transportation, and recreation, metabolism embraced a more human-centric approach that could change and evolve and adapt. A lot of these ideas were theoretical, and very few structures under this movement were actually built. Some popular examples of this are the Yamanashi Press and Broadcaster Center, the Shizuoka Press and Broadcasting Tower, the Hillside Terrace in Tokyo, and yes, the Nakagin Capsule Tower. The reason this building is crucial to architectural history is because it was one of the few from the metabolism ideology that actually got built. So you might wonder what makes the metabolism structures different. How does the ideology of organic growth fit into this building? Well, for that, we need to dive deeper into the design of the Nakagin Capsule Tower. Now, at the time when this building was made in Japan, there were a lot of new businesses and offices coming up. And that meant a lot of young single men were looking for small, inexpensive accommodation. So the architect Kisho Kurokawa, who was one of the founders and propagators of the metabolism movement, found the project where he could truly show the world what metabolism meant. He wanted to design a tower with modular rooms that could change and evolve and spread. For this new tower, Ginza was naturally selected as the location, as it is close to the areas that gathered most of the offices and therefore the prospective tenants. He then came up with a unique design. The building is composed of two interconnected concrete towers, respectively 11 and 13 floors. And these towers had prefabricated capsules for rooms. Each capsule measures 2.5 meters by 4 meters, with a 1.3 diameter window at one end, and functions as a small living or office space. These capsules can be connected and combined to create larger spaces. They were fitted with utilities and interior fittings before being shipped to the building site. Each capsule was cantilevered from the shaft independently so that any capsule could be removed easily without affecting the others. The idea was that over time, as the utility changes, so can the space. Thus, the structure grows organically with the user and their needs. And you might think this capsule is actually quite small, but you see, it was perfect for its target audience. There were many restaurants, izakaya pubs, and other kobini in the vicinity that easily provided food and places to go out at night with colleagues. Moreover, like in a hotel, there was a concierge service to take care of the laundry. And also, unit owners could occupy their modules as they wished, temporarily or on permanent basis. Several units could also be used as a single apartment, with each module constituting one room. The original thought was that each module was designed to be used for 25 years, after which it would be replaced. So every 25 years, the structure would be different, it would grow and it would be renewed. It was a novel idea. It would have changed the way we perceived architecture and the built environment around the world. But sadly, these great ideas remained just that, ideas. Metabolism as a movement garnered a lot of attention, but over the years, the enthusiasm faded. Nakagin Capsule Tower was one of the few projects that were actually built, and the idea that made this building unique was never exercised. Although the capsules were designed with mass production in mind to be changed and morphed, none of the units have been replaced since the building got constructed. So, what really happened? In 1997, which was 25 years after the tower's completion, the owners of the capsules could not reach an agreement, and it was found out that it was technically impossible to change one unit at a time. They all had to be done together. So the changes were stalled. Now, since it was designed to be replaced, not replacing meant that the building with time now started to deteriorate. The condition of the capsules worsened over time. Finally, 10 years later, in 2007, the building had fallen into disarray and had an asbestos problem. 80% of the owners finally agreed, but not to replace the capsules, rather to tear down the building. They wanted a larger, much more modern tower. In the interest of preserving his design and the last remnants of the metabolism movement, Kurokawa proposed taking advantage of the flexible design by unplugging the existing boxes and replacing them with updated units. The plan was supported by major architectural associations of Japan, but the residents countered with concerns over the building's earthquake resistance and its inefficient use of valuable property. The outcome today might have been different had Kurokawa not died in 2007. The owners of the building decided in that year to sell the tower to a property developer that intended to demolish and replace it. But the firm filed for bankruptcy during the 2008 recession, and the site's fate was thrown into years-long limbo. It did give time for more people to collect and try to save the tower, but it was in vain. And to further add fuel to fire, the 2011 Tohoku earthquake caused important damages to the building, making any replacement even more difficult. By 2012, around 30 of the 140 capsules remained in use as apartments, while others were used for storage or office space, or simply abandoned and allowed to deteriorate. But even as it kept deteriorating and its fate was hanging in a balance, the tower was still being used. As recently as August 2017, capsules could still be rented, although the waiting list remained long. Now, loads of people try to save this tower through various methods, from trying to get donations from people around the world to even trying to get the site declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. There was so much that was explored, but sadly, none of it worked. And it's not like people didn't want to help, they actually did. But then in 2020, the world came to a standstill. The COVID-19 spree now stopped any donations from coming towards the tower. In May 2021, a number of outlets reported that the management company of the building had voted to sell the complex to the original landowner, reigniting speculation over potential demolition and redevelopment. Finally, it was announced to the world that in April of 2022, the building demolition would begin. Now, the demolition officially began on April 12, but it will actually continue till the end of 2022. Now, even though this tower is going, not all will be lost. Even though the whole tower could not be saved, organizations were still able to get their hands on individual capsules. The Museum of Modern Art in Japan already has a unit in its collection, and other institutions around the world like Centre Pompidou had also expressed interest in getting one. So some capsules will be refurbished and will go to museums around the world to showcase the people world over what metabolism meant, what it stood for, and what finally happened to it. If you think about it, it is as if the tower itself lived the same fate as the architectural style that it championed. During its 50 years lifespan, Nakagin Capsule Tower was an unusual landmark in the Japanese capital and inspired several generations of contemporary architects and amateurs of innovative concepts. If you will be in Japan till the end of this year, you might get a glimpse of it, a glimpse into history, a glimpse into daring ideas, but also a glimpse into the economic reality of the world right now. And that was it, you guys. That was the video on Nakagin Capsule Tower. I hope you got something from it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comments below. If you like the content that I create on this channel and would like to support it, you can do it via Patreon or via channel memberships. You can find the links to both of them in the description below. And if you would like to be a channel member, you could also click the join button below. I would like to thank all the patrons and channel members for supporting this channel and making all of these videos possible. And that was it, you guys. Do give this video a thumbs up, do share this video, and do subscribe to Blessedarch. I will see you guys soon with more such content. Until then, bye bye.